Morning, guys. I'm still moving. I still got stuff to move over at my other place, and I'm still unpacking. Boy, oh boy. My next move is going to be into a hole in the ground. When I was a young fellow, I didn't mind, but boy. Anyhow, I just watched Pat Vinyl Richie's video several hours ago. And Pat showed his new records, some of that punker stuff and all of that kind of stuff that he's into, the albums. And then he showed a pile of fantastic 45s that he got off of Jenny and Dave at, they had like 3 auctions, I think it was. It was difficult trying to figure out, bidding, and there was a deadline, a couple of days later. And I'll tell you one thing about it, though. That method, instead of having guys bid each other up like they do on Patrick's auctions, that method she used, you got your records really cheap, right? I kind of liked it, right? But I did miss out on one record. When I first got there, I seen onto the site for the sales and all of that, I noticed that Vinyl Richie had picked a whole bunch of records I wanted. And so, I didn't want to, compete with him. He's a buddy, I don't know the guy or nothing like that, but he's a VC buddy. I'll put it to you that way. And I put that in a comment on one of his bids, except for I think there was one record. Oh yeah, it was the James Brown record. He put a bid in for that, and I told him that, that's a record I want, right? I don't have the sleeve for it. Papa's got a brand new bag, his biggest hit. I don't have a proper sleeve for it, so I wanted it bad. Anyhow, before the auction ended, I fell asleep, and I had thrown up a couple, Vance, dirty doggy. I think he got it for $15. I'd have paid $30 for that sleeve, that's how nuts I am sometimes, right? When I'm in an auction and you're bidding against guys, I sort of like the way Jenny was doing it. Anyhow, I'll show you the goddamn records. Enough of this chit-chat horse shit. Well, we're going to have to go this. No cookies, though, guys. I ate all the goddamn cookies. First, I'll show you the picture sleeves. I got some good ones, too, eh? I like the condition of the sleeves and the records. They were... You don't find them that good, right? I'm a 45 collector, and believe me, trying to find records in the kind of shape that I'd have bought that whole damn collection off or screw the other guys, because they were in such great shape. I could have got rid of the commercial crap, no problem. Stop talking, Bobby. Jesus. Peter and Gordon, Hurtin' Is Lovin', Sunday for Tea. I just liked, I only got 1 or 2 45s by these guys. They're hits. This is, on the orange label here. Is this U.S.? I only thought the capital labels, the orange swirls like this, I only thought they were Canadian. But apparently not. Oh well, Peter and Gordon, that's the least. I showed you that one first because it's the Mickey Mouse one that I've got, the picture sleeve. Stop talking, Bob. You know who this guy was? Bob Dylan got him off. Hurricane Carter. I love this tune. On the Columbia, Hurricane Carter. Ooh, love that tune. Nancy Sinatra, Lightning Girl. I like that outfit. What label's this on? Oh, that's on a reprise. Her dad's label. CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Run through the jungle and up around the bed. Run through the jungle and keep on chewing are probably two of my favorite tunes by those guys. They got a lot of good ones I like, eh? Beautiful picture sleeve, eh? I can't get over them. Joe Cocker, The Letter. I've told some stories about Joe. He was quite the drunk. You know, he was missing in action for a lot of years. Jennifer Warren wanted to do a song with him, a duo. She does duos, and nobody could find him. And so she sent some detectives out to search for the guy, and I think it took them like a year and a half, might have been less, I don't know. But it took him a year to find Joe. And you know what he was doing? He was in London, and he was a cab driver. That's how, you know, he spent all his money partying. I mean, them rock and roll days, you just blew money like crazy, eh? Joe Cocker. Another Joe Cocker, Cry Me a River and Give Peace a Chance. On the AMM label. Now Joe, one thing about Joe, eh, he had Leon Russell in both of these, right? And Leon Russell, I guess it was Elton John who got him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but pretty much everybody else that's in the Rock and Roll Fame, not many of them have the stats that Leon Russell does. I mean, he played on just about, you can't, you know, hundreds of other artists he played for, right, for a long, long time, right? Frank Sinatra, what's the name of that? I don't know, one of his tunes, a bunch of his tunes. And real early, too, 1960, the Fleetwoods, Come Softly to Me, he played on that, too, played piano on that. He played, you know, all kinds of bands and all of that. It's just incredible, you know, what he really done in his life, right? Next up here, we got Donovan, Where Your Love Like Heaven. Hippy Dippy Days, Donovan, boy. Flower Power, he was the Prince of Flower Power. And beads, he liked beads. And that's on the Epic. Come on, get in there. I don't want to ruin it. Here comes the Dandies. My favorite run from the bunch. I'd have paid a lot of money for this. 2,000 Light Years from Home, the Rolling Stones. Oh, I'm a Stones fan, and they look pristine, just immaculate. They got a little bit of dust in them from not being played, I guess. Jumpin' Jack Flash and Child of the Moon. That's a great tune. Child of the Moon. The London. I never liked that picture, them all dressed up like women and shit like that, right? Have you seen your mother, baby, standing in the shadow? What's on the flip side of that? Who's driving my plane? Flip side. Rolling Stones. What a band. Very famous picture, this one here, eh? Album cover and everything. Ruby Tuesday and Let's Spend the Night Together. Let's have a look at the label. I love labels. On the London. And the rest are, that's my picture sleeves. Rolling Stones, Faraway Eyes, and Miss You. I mean, I have a number of these, but, you know, I'm a Stones collector. And here's Bitch and Brown Sugar on a Decca Company sleeve. I'll have to find a record for that. And here's Dandelion on a London sleeve, a regular sleeve it's supposed to be. Great tune, Dandelion. And the flip side is We Love You. Look at this here. I'll show you something on this sleeve. Now, that side is, you know, you see there's a crease there and all of that. Look at this flip side. Here, let's take the record out and show you. I've never seen this before. This sleeve ended up like that. No, you can see that when they were manufacturing the sleeve, that it got a little crossed, you know, in the manufacturing process, and it ended up bent one side of it a little bit, eh? I mean, that happens the odd time, right? I mean, if it was an album, guys would be sending it back. Us 45 guys aren't like that. Yeah, you know, I moved into this apartment a couple of days ago, and it's got a microwave that I didn't know how to use. I had to have a buddy come over and show me how to use the damn thing. I mean, I got a microwave and brought it with me, but there's one here. I forgot there was one here. And then it's got a, what do you call it, automatic dishwashing machine. And so I never used one before, eh? So, you know, I all of my bar glasses and stuff like that, I wanted to put them in the dishwasher and, you know, and put them away, right? Because you don't drink them bar glasses. You don't use them too often, right? And they get a little dusty. So I filled it up and put some other dishes in there, and I put my, the soap I normally use when I do dishes, Sunlight. And I, you know, filled up both reservoirs, and I started her up. But I'm sitting here at the computer, and I'm going, you know, doing what I'm doing. I ordered food for the new apartment, a couple of $100 worth. And I look over. I mean, I'm typing away at the computer, and I look over at the dishwasher, and it's water and suds yay high in front of it, right? Holy Christ almighty. I run over, start reading what the hell's going on. I couldn't pull the door open. I had to hit one of the buttons there, and it stopped, and I opened it up, and the whole goddamn thing is full of suds. Soap suds. Soap suds on the floor there. Oh boy, oh boy. So I took all the glasses and the stuff out, put them in the sink, run the cold water on them, and then I went and got myself, you know, 4 or 5 towels from the, you know, and I started soaping the stuff up on the floor, sucked it all, you know, got it all up on the floor. I hope none of it went down to the apartment below me. I ain't got a call yet anyhow. Of course, it's 6:25, and this was about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, so maybe nobody was up yet. And the suds, I had to get towels and get all the suds out, and I run the machine again, you know, to get rid of the suds and all of that that's still in the machine. And, you know, then I stopped it and had a look, and there were still suds in it. So I run the machine a full cycle, and then I run the machine again another full cycle, and finally there's no more suds. I'm going to have to go on the internet and see how to work this stuff. So I ordered groceries this morning, $200 worth, and I went and bought, I don't know, 3 of these things for dishwashers. They cost me like, I don't know, $45 or something like that. I don't know, these were my dishwashing before, eh? This is what I used to wash dishes once before. We'll see how it works. I don't know if it'll clean as good as these things do, but we'll see how they work. Now to get back to the records. The Animals. Inside Looking Out and You're on My Mind. Inside Looking Out's a great tune. It's hardly ever heard really by the Animals, and it's a fantastic tune. I don't have an MGM sleeve like you did for the one you showed, Richie, but I didn't bid against you on that one, right? I wanted it, but you know, like I said, I wasn't bidding against you. We were quite honest about that, the two of us. So he's a solid dude, you know. If he's gonna be like that, the guy's solid. Led Zeppelin, the Immigrant Song, on a Reprise label instead of Atlantic label. What's on the flip side? Hey, hey, what can you say? And it's in immaculate shape. There was another Led Zeppelin tune there that I just said, you know, a buck on it, but you know, I wanted the Stones tunes. I wanted to kind of leave the Led Zeppelin stuff away. I guess maybe Vance got it or something, right? Now here's a Monument record with a nice Monument sleeve of Billy Swan. I Can Help. I like that tune, I Can Help, right? A lot of the ones I wanted, like Billy Swan and stuff like that, people didn't want. They didn't bid against me. Actually, there was only, I think maybe, Christ, there wasn't that many bidders that I could see on for the records, eh? I mean, if you would have put them on Patrick's auction, here's a Super Oldies Capitol label. These are repress labels. Some of them are okay. Richie showed one. I forget what it was, but I have quite a few of them, right? But that's Ned Miller, From a Jack to a King. And on the flip side is So You Do What You Do Well. Those were both hits for Ned, eh? He was quite popular when this came out for a couple of years. Next up here on a nice Decca label is The Who, Pinball Wizard. And on the flip side is Dogs Part 2. That's a little weird, that one there, Dogs Part 2. Pinball Wizard on a Decca label, nice. Buddy Holly, Peggy Sue on an MC label. This is repress, eh? I don't mind some represses, but I prefer the, you know, originals, right? Now this one here, J.M. Fields, Our Price. I actually looked up J.M. Fields to see what it was, and it's like a, I don't know, Kresge's a department store, right? And the Allman Brothers, Ramblin' Man, love that tune. And then Pony Boy on the other side, eh? I really like that sticker. I really like that sticker. And they put it on both sides, too, eh? Next up here on the Sand Pebbles, Because of Love on... oh, no, this was the sleeve I was talking about. This is the Sand Pebbles, you know, Because of Love and Love Power. Because of Love's not that bad, eh? And it's... that label there is part of Chess Checker Cadet Group, the Kala label. Now this is the label, the other one I was mistaken. Let me show you. This is the one that come out of the machine wrong. You see all, now on the flip side, you can see extra paper there that didn't get cut off, didn't get trimmed off. And these folds, you know, these folds were done by the machine. So this is a, this record, not the other one. This one here was messed up by the machine. I've seen it a couple of times. Same with some of the records too. I've seen some records that are, you know, a little messed up, right? The labels and shit like that. I don't know how they get out of the company like that. Oop, let's put that back in its proper sleeve. When they're in this kind of shape, you want to, you know, you want to look after them. Next up here is Red Wing on a Fantasy label. I don't know if you know these guys, but that California Blues is a fantastic tune. 1970, 71, a really kind of throwback. The tune's kind of a throwback to the late 60s, the hippie movement, flower power and stuff like that, but it's a real rocker, right? It's a good tune, Dan. California Blues, Red Wing. Check it out. Now here's, I got an MGM label. Lou Christie, Lightning Strikes. You see the little hole? Right there? Somebody was telling me that means it's a promo for 45, in the early days. Really? Well, I don't know. Some people say that. I've heard it more than once, but I don't know. Now here's yeah. There's J&M Fields, Whoops. That same label again. All right. And these are all from the one guy. I mean, he put his initials on some of the records, in black magic marker. Now, this here is Danny O'Keefe, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues. Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues. I guess you call that country. It was a crossover hit. And he was talking about, Pat was talking about Johnny Rivers too. Johnny Rivers was a hell of a guitar player, and he had a lot of hits, during his career, right? He's not so popular nowadays and all of that, but, he got some pretty good record, right? And that's on a great Imperial label, Muddy River. Good tune, not a bad tune. I mean, not super duper hits and all of that kind of stuff, right? What's the other one? Resurrection? Yeah, Resurrection. I love the sleeves. Mitch Ryder on a bell sleeve. Nice bell sleeve. See, there's the guy's initials there. Same guy bought them all, right? Mitch Ryder, Jenny Take a Ride. And on the flip side is Baby Jane Momo Jane. Jenny Take a Ride's the tune there. And here's on a old Capitol sleeve, a Capitol, what's that, a little later, I think, those sleeves like that. They're not the orange swirl, they're the 70s, I guess, right? Or late 60s. Aimless Lady, and I'm Getting Closer to My Home. We used to crash to that all the time back in the hippie days when we were, on drugs and shit, right? Here's a King label. Honky Tonk Part 1 and flip side is Part 2. Bill Doggett, an old rock and roller. I played one of his 45s, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and I got a comment from his daughter about Bill Doggett. She was saying, thank you very much for uploading my dad's music and keeping it alive, which I thought was rather nice, And actually, I've gotten quite a few responses like that in the 12 years I've been here, and that's one of the reasons, I upload the 45s and the music, the old stuff, because it brings back some great memories for a lot of people, right? And, I don't mind doing that. And here's the that's the one and only Henry Mancini doing Peter Gunn's theme. The only guy who does it really great. Well, no, wait a minute. Jeff Beck does it pretty good. So did Stevie Ray Vaughan. When you're working with gold, it works. But Henry Mancini's is pretty good. Now here's a Stax subsidiary, Volt. I have this already, but I wanted to pick it up anyhow. Otis Redding sitting on the dock of the bay with Sweet Lorraine on the flip side. And that was at J.M. Fuller's 77 cents. On that little sticker there, 77 cents. I like them little stickers. To me, that kind of stuff's like patina. You know, tells a story, right? And yeah, I'm into stories. This is Bobby Darin, Loving You, and Amy. You know, nothing special, but you know, I got a number of Bobby Darin's 45, so I picked it up. I didn't have this one. Here's Chicago. Lowdown, that's actually a pretty good tune by them, right? Loneliness is just a word. That's a good tune right there, Lowdown. I actually turfed all my Chicago albums. I only kept the first one, the Chicago Transit Authority. I mean, I seen them in '69, and when they did South California Purples and I'm a Man back to back, that was the highlight of the show for me. And there was all kinds of great people at that gig, right? That's a pretty good tune by them. Not, you know, and I ain't a big fan of, you know, Chicago after the first one. They had the odd, not bad tune and all of that. But anyhow, I turfed all my albums. But I got this here 45 because I always liked that tune, Lowdown. And last is the poorest one that I got out of the whole bunch. I don't know why the hell I bought this. But it's Edison Life. Edison Lighthouse. Love grows where my rosemary goes. Oh boy, hey Bobby, what are you doing picking up records like that? On a bell with the little hole in it, meaning it's a promo? I don't know. There you go. Thanks, Jenny. How long was it? 27 minutes. Holy fuck. I need to see a therapist. Later, guys.